There's a lot of conversations relative to tax policy happening here in Washington, D.C., and I'm excited to bring you an update in that regard. This March, Senator John Thune of South Dakota, Representative Sanford Bishop of Georgia, and Jason Smith of Missouri introduced the Death Tax Repeal Act of 2021 to permanently, fully repeal the federal estate tax. This legislation might not become law anytime soon. If you think back to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we weren't able to get it done back when they had a Republican majority in the House, Senate, and White House. However, it's really critically important that we continue banging the drum on this issue and building a public record of support for full permanent repeal, because we know that changes to the death tax may be on the table moving forward. As Senate Democrats, and House Democrats for that matter, work to enact President Biden's policy agendas, they are going to be looking to move those policies through a reconciliation process. And in order to do that and bypass the filibuster, they'll need to have budget balanced legislation. Therefore, they'll be looking at issues like the death tax or stepped up basis, or like-kind exchanges for that matter, as potential revenue raisers. It's really, really important that we continue to preserve the gains that we were able to make in tax reform back in 2017 and not allow for any backsliding or detrimental tax policies to be enacted. Ultimately, cattle producers across the country understand the importance of taxes in supporting our nation and our nation's infrastructure. However, a fair tax code is an equitable one, and we need tax provisions and policies that recognize the unique needs and challenges of agricultural industries, and a common sense provision that allows for the generational transfer of farms to the next group of producers is really, really important, especially when you consider the fact that we've got an aging population and less than 2% of our nation's country produces enough food for us to eat here and abroad. We are really grateful for all of our support, or all of the support on this issue by our key allies on Capitol Hill, and we're going to be calling on our producers to start engaging in this conversation and communicating and educating with their members of Congress, because ultimately grassroots advocacy is what makes us so strong here, and it's really important as these tax conversations ramp up that our producer perspectives continue being represented.